Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for a miniature Sunday SuperStream because we've got 3 games all kicking off at midday today. And I can inform you straight away that my TV is working. Yes, I had messed with the antenna whilst hoovering yesterday. So we are live here. We have got 3 games going, as I say, on BT up there on the iPad. We're going to have Leicester and Arsenal on the TV, on the Sky feed. That'll be the quickest feed. We've got Wycombe versus Norwich in the Championship. And over here on the laptop, we've got BBC, who are televising Palace and Fulham. So we've got 3 games all going at once. Should be a good time over the next couple of hours. Join us and keep in touch with everything as it happens. We'll focus in the main, obviously, with our Championship purview on the Wycombe Norwich game, but we'll be able to flit in and out of the others as and when interesting stuff happens. Before we go any further, make yourself known in the comments. Let me know that you can see me, hear me loudly, clearly, and we will get to the teams in just a second. Let me just give a quick shout out because this is a SuperStream. Fan sponsor David May, fan of the channel and happy to support great content. David's Watford. Well, they lost their heads a little bit at the end of that game yesterday, mind you. Did a fair few of the players on the pitch there. But we thank David, who is our fan sponsor on the channel for this season. You too can get involved. Just look at the ticker at the bottom. You can subscribe via Patreon for regular bonus content. That's starting to look quite good now over there. We're filming another Classics review tomorrow as well, so that should be good fun. Well worth subscribing. I would say that, wouldn't I? You can super chat any point during the broadcast. First super chat as ever becomes the king of the bin. Although, I don't know, we did use it a couple of times yesterday in the big super stream, didn't we? But yeah, please feel free to super chat. Every little helps. I can have my 4th government grant in a few days' time, but it's been a tough year, hasn't it? Also, the easiest way to support is, of course, hitting a thumbs up wherever you see a thumbs up, and hitting subscribe and ringing the bell for notifications. Deary me, I've sent a tweet out with the wrong hashtag in. Never mind. Right. Moral of the story, don't hoover. Yes, indeed. Here's Russ, who's nervous, obviously, despite the fact he's Norwich 7 points clear and playing bottom of the table, Wycombe. Liam is here. He's going to watch Monaco v Brest. Nice. Morning, Nick and Joel. Mr. E. Surgery on TV was very effective. We ordered the curry and it was done within minutes. Leeds 2021. Hi, James, Liam, all the Bristol City fans. Shaylee was instrumental there in the fixing of the TV. I will give her credit where it's due. Of course, she did all the legwork. If Ben did it probably badly, well, there we go. Callum is watching Wycombe Norwich, joining with that. Annie, another happy Bristol City fan. Philip is here as well. Right, let's have a look at we'll just quickly bash through the Premier League teams and then we'll focus in on the Wycombe versus Norwich game. So, obviously my tweet is incorrect, but I can't be asked to change it now. It's Palace Fulham, not Palace Leicester, as I incorrectly tweeted. There is the Fulham team with our dearly departed head on there. Areola in goal. Tete and Aina are the fullbacks. Anderson and Rabiot centre backs. And Anguissa, Reed, central mid. The other Reed and Loftus-Cheek and Lookman off Madger. So pretty standard stuff from Scott Parker there for Palace. Guaita, Ward, Koyate, Cahill, Van Arnhelt, Milivojevic, Riedewald, Eze. Palace has got to be the hardest team to read the names out, hasn't it? God. Ayew, Benteke and Townsend. Imagine that. Benteke, Milivojevic, Koyate, Van Arnholt, Reedwell. Oh, dearie me. Way beyond my abilities of pronunciation, which, as you know, are not very good. Let's just quickly check the other Premier League lineups. We don't really have a dog in the fight in this one. It's not Championship and we don't have a dearly departed. But because we're kind of super streaming this, we'll keep you in touch with it anyway. So Leicester versus Arsenal, Schmeichel, Castagna, Evans, Soyuncu and Thomas, Barnes, Pereira, Tielemans and Didi, Iheanacho and Vardy. For Arsenal, Leno, Suarez, Luiz, Mari, Tierney, El Neni, Xhaka, Pepe, Smith Rowe, Willian and Lacazette. Let me know if I assume we'll get plenty of people watching, particularly the BBC feed, which is Palace versus Fulham. So let me know what's happening there. Let's have a look at the Championship. Daniel Farker is on my screen, talking away. And there are your teams for this one. So it's top of the table Norwich versus bottom of the table Wycombe. Wycombe trending in the right direction the last few games, but obviously not in a desirable spot in the league. But hey, you can only trend in the right direction, can't you? And Norwich are certainly doing that. I think they're 4 wins on the bounce. We'll look at the table and the form in a minute. So there's your Wycombe team. Stockdale, you can still find him, and he's played the last couple of games. Grimmer and Obita are the fullbacks. Obita came in the window, didn't he, from Oxford. Stewart and Knight, the captain, and Knight is on loan, I believe, from Leicester, isn't he? Gape, Wheeler and Mehmeti. Mehmeti's been getting some rave reviews of late. McCleary, who's played for a fair few Championship clubs, hasn't he? Onyedinma, the ex-Millwall guy, and Ikpeazu, the archetypal handful up front. Big physicality and good threat from him. On the bench for Wycombe, Anderson, Jacobson, the set play guru, McCarthy, Horgan, Offerborth, Thompson, Samuel, Akinfenua and Cashget. For Norwich, they haven't really tinkered with this now for 4 or 5 games, have they? And we know about Farker that when he gets a settled team that he's happy with, he just sticks with it, doesn't he? Krull in goal, Aarons and Janulis. He played a couple of games, didn't he, Janulis? And they took him out and now they've put him back in. So I guess they're just letting him acclimatise. Hanley and Gibson, I believe Zimmerman has played possibly the last couple of games, maybe, don't know. Skip and McLean is now sort of first choice double pivot. McLean over Rupp. Hernandez is off the left. He's worked his way into that position. Obviously, seen Cantwell there. We've seen Plachetta there. They've got loads of good players up the top there. Norwich, Vrancic is 10. But frankly, we all say, who cares if you have number 17, Buendia in your team, who's just a brilliant player, isn't he? And Teemu Pukki up top, who's now sort of starting to look like he's going to put a number on the board. I know he set the bar very high with 29 goals in 2018-19, but looking good up top. Pukki just getting into his real goal-scoring stride now, isn't he? There's the Norwich bench. You made a pretty good team out of that lot, couldn't you? Barden, Zimmerman, Dowell, Plachetta, Rupp, Sorensen, Tetty, Hugill, Eder. How many of those Norwich subs would get in the Wycombe team? answer that in the chat. I'll plead the fifth on that. Plenty of them, I think. A real championship haves and have-nots battle. This, obviously, Norwich were in the Premier League last season and Wycombe were in League One. They've come from very different places and they sit in very different places in the table. Norwich top, and a couple of defeats that helped them out yesterday to Watford and Swansea, which means they can go 10 points clear of third position. And they can move on to 70 points with 13 games to go. Let's pull out the trusty 10-year averages spreadsheet, which you all love to see. You love to see it. For automatic promotion, the 10-year average, you need 84 points. So in short, the 10-year average for the team finishing in third position is 83.7 points. And obviously, to get automatic promotion, you have to finish ahead of that team. Ergo, 84 points has been the number. So Norwich would be 14 points away with 13 games to go, the 10-year average for promotion. In other words, very much a sense of closing in for the Canaries as this season ticks on. Let's have a look at your comments. We are just coming up to kickoff. I think for once, I've timed that quite well, haven't I? Let's have a look here. What have we got? John Boy, tuning in from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome, John. Give us your thoughts. Jonesy, my dad just walked in whilst in extra time against Palace in the FA Cup in my Wycombe career mode, and they scored in the game. That's appalling behaviour from your dad. How dare he? But yeah, my commiserations. There we go. What else have we got here? Charlie, one of the biggest games in the Championship today. Wycombe versus Norwich, the only game in the Championship today. Ben Teke sounds like what you say when Mr. Bloom shows, thank you, shows his football skills. Maybe a few years ago, yeah. Hi, AJ says hi, Ben and chat. Cantwell's injured, is he? Okay. Well, I mean, there is an argument that Hernandez brings something a little bit different, a little bit more pace. He may not always know where he's running with the ball, but certainly an exciting player to watch. I think we're all there, aren't we? How was the Indian? It was fantastic. Now, I had a duck masala. Duck in a curry. Absolutely tremendous stuff. Afternoon to John as well. He'll no doubt be a happy Birmingham fan. Right, let's get the scores on the ticker down the bottom. We're all about to kick off. I've got 3 screens in front of my face. This should be a good couple of hours of football. The players take the knee in the Wycombe versus Norwich game. I open a Pepsi. And by God, here we go. Let's see how many people have corrected me on my mistake in the tweet. They were supposed to just look at the picture. By the way, follow me on Twitter, at Benjamin Bloom. As Norwich kick off. And the centre halves are a go-go. Aarons plays that back up the line. Wycombe already in their mid-low block and ready to absorb some pressure. Horrible shadow here. I'll try my best. Giannoulis to Hernandez for Norwich down the left. Hernandez tries to turn past Grimmer. Grimmer knocks it against Giannoulis and wins a goal kick for Wycombe. Wolf. Legend, thank you. A £5 super chat from the Wolf Man. I will drink to that, sir. Callum, I might not watch because I'm behind. Well, I'll give you a time sync and you just pause me by that amount of seconds, Callum. Don't leave us. you won't be behind anymore. South West London derby today. Palace for the south and Fulham for the west. Nice. Hoping for a Harry Kane hat-trick. Triple captained him. Yeah, I've got to get back into it. I really was all gung-ho on the Fantasy League. Videos every week. Stuffed it, didn't I? Hi, Ben and all. I'll try and leave my bias at the door and look beyond the carry-on at Bournemouth yesterday to a place where gamesmanship loses out in the end. The playoffs could be very tasty. They could. Indeed. Oh, Nat, how did that all go? The op. Keep us updated on these things. He was in for hours, wasn't he? You were saying. Great stuff, though, if he's through that now. 2 minutes gone. If anyone wants a time sync, let me know. We are off and running in all of these games. It's going to be a restart for Wickham. Goes long from Stockdale, headed down the line by Buendia. Abita plays it into the channel. Ikpeazu knocks it off, and they've got it into the right-hand side now with McClary. Tries to go past Janulis. And I think McClary ran it out, did he? It doesn't appear so. And Wickham have a throw-in. Wickham's best hope, really, here is getting it into Ikpeazu on a transition, trying to get Norwich up the pitch. Classic sort of style. And then set plays. So we can see this one's going to go in the box. Straight away in the 3rd minute, Josh Knight's just drying the ball off. And Ben Gibson is marking Ikpeazu on the near post. It's headed away by Norwich. And Buendia wins another header. Loaded back in and out of play. It goes. That could be the game this first 3 minutes in microcosm. Norwich trying to get their way up the pitch and Wickham trying to move quickly in the other direction and capitalise from set plays. Right. We'll give you a 4-minute time sync, Chris and Stephen, which is going to come up in about 10 seconds. So we'll be at 4 minutes. I'll count you down 3, 2, 1. If you want to line up, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Sync. Vrancic tries to turn his man. Obita clears that away. Mehmeti is there. Pezu's come short. They've worked it past Hanley, but it's out for a Wickham throw-in. Daniel Farker applauds on the touchline. It's going to be a throw-in for a Wickham, which Obita is going to toss down the line. Gets a load of distance on that as well. Headed on by Wheeler and down again by Hanley. Gibson just lumps that one clear. Very un-Farker-like. Obita, a bit messy. Gape hooks it forward now. Surely Ikpeazu has fouled Hanley there. Loose arm from Ikpeazu, but he's left the marker there on Grant Hanley, I suspect. We have a goal in the Leicester-Arsenal game. It's Leicester 1, Arsenal 0. It hasn't occurred, so I'm going to avert my gaze on, as in it hasn't occurred on the stream I'm watching. I'm going to avert my gaze upward towards the iPad and try and catch that goal. Norwich have run that one out. So it's a restart for Wickham. And we're going to see a quick attack, no doubt, from Leicester. Or are we? Arsenal have it with the goalkeeper, Leno. It's played into midfield in the left-back area now with Tierney. Now Leicester win it back, and here they go with Tielemans. Drives forward into the box. No one closes it down. And Tielemans just rifles it into the corner. So we have a goal in our Sunday SuperStream within 6 minutes. Tielemans for Leicester is one of those classic examples of, drop back into position whilst no one focuses on the man carrying the ball. he drives in and in and in and in, and then just drills it into the corner with his right foot. Nice goal by Tielemans, but someone's got to come across and cover him, and horrible defending by Arsenal in that regard. Right, here come Norwich. Vrancic plays it into Krul, who's all the way out of his goal, playing sweeper. And why not? Wycombe have got all their players behind the ball. Here's Hanley. Hanley to Gibson. Norwich haven't been able to build up much momentum yet, and they can't play through the block there. Nice turn, and here come Wycombe on the counter. Just short in the execution there, trying to get Grimmer away, but did not manage. Let's have a look at your comments. Thank you, Leicester. Arsenal TV will be fuming. Of course they will. A shot by Diop straight at the breast. You were way over my head with that, Liam. Far too knowledgeable about French football for me. Oh, Arsenal are in here. Blocked out for a corner there. All going on in that game. Gibson has it in the centre circle. On the right-hand side now, McLean drives forward. Skip finds Aaron's on the right wing. Aaron shadowed there by Obita. Norwich having to be very patient here, but happy to do so. I think sitting top of the league, 7 points clear of third. They're in no danger in terms of taking their time. And that they do. Back with Krul. Norwich racking up the possession here. Hanley comes forward with it. Aaron's on the right wing. Aaron's nice ball inside with the left foot to Vrancic. I think he wanted to knock it off early to Buendia. It's clipped in to Buendia, and he tries to bring it down and control it, but it runs out of play. Bit too much on the pass there. Who do I think is the better striker out of Tony and Pookie? Bit of an apples and oranges comparison, Dylan, isn't it? They're both very good, evidently. Very difficult one. All-round game, Tony probably. Finishing, Pookie. Be interesting to swap them both over. They'd probably both do quite well, wouldn't they? Both play for teams that create a hell of a lot of chances, put it that way. Janulis plays it to Gibson. It's to Krul, and Norwich patiently building up again with Hanley. Hanley to Gibson. Plenty of rotation going on ahead of him. Players trying to find space. Wycombe sitting in behind the ball. Buendia's come all the way short. Lovely ball round the corner by him. Gibson tries to play it into Pookie. Buendia. Yeah. Buendia tried to knock it on. Pookie sort of tried to come onto the play there. He didn't actually get anywhere near the ball, but I think there was a pull on him. And it's going to be a free kick for Norwich. Right on the edge of the box as well. And Mario Vrancic will no doubt fancy this one. I think didn't he score a free kick in the game between these two earlier in the season? Tony is miles better than Pookie, says Chris. Those are his words. So Vrancic is there with the left foot. Buendia with the right. Vrancic, a very good free kick taker. Here comes Mario Vrancic over the wall. Great strike. And David Stockdale was equal to that. I think he was quite well researched on Vrancic. It's going in the corner, isn't it? A great free kick and tipped around the post. Annie says we have a penalty at Arsenal, which I can confirm is true. Penalty for Arsenal. Only 12 minutes in that game. The corner came in from that's a really good free kick and a really good save. That excellent from both players there. I think 75% of Vrancic's training must be taking free kicks. I think it's Pepe has been brought down by Tielemans. I guess they're just checking that in the Arsenal, Leicester game. Gape heads on for Wickham. That looks like that's going to be given. Oh, actually, no. It's only contact. Pookie in the box. So Beta takes it off him. Norwich have it back here. Sorry, I'm looking at this penalty in the... There's two Leicester players. It's hard to tell which one they've possibly given the foul against. Here's Hanley. Across it goes to Gibson. And back to Hanley. Norwich centre-halves are going to get a lot of touches today. There's a foul by Ikpeazu, his second of the game. So referee is Jones, is it today? I think it's referee Jones. We'll be keeping an eye on that. They're still checking the penalty for the 5,000th replay in the Leicester-Arsenal game. It's another free kick to Norwich. Looks like that penalty's been overruled. Yes, indeed it has. Interesting. Here's Hernandez on the left for Norwich. Slaloming outside and then in. Giannoulis crosses to the back post. Aarons gets up. That's going to be a goal kick. No penalty. Foul outside the area by Ndidi in the Leicester versus Arsenal game. Sky telling us Norwich have had 75% possession. I think the eye test tells us that for sure. They've put themselves in such a comfortable position that I'm sure Daniel Farker will be relaxed with how this is going. Wickham have won a free kick just a few yards ahead of the centre circle. And it's going in the box or near to, depending on where Norwich hold their defensive line here. Let me know if you're looking at Palace versus Fulham and what's going on in that one. That's out of my line of sight a little bit. Free kick clipped in. Oh, headed down by Wheeler. It's gone loose. And Onyedinma hit the shot against his own player there on the edge of the box. Norwich pick it up now, going to try and counter. Vrancic with a searching pass for Pookie. Just puts a little bit too much on that one. And it's through to Stockdale in the penalty area, who comes out and grabs it. Incapable of pulling off that pass, you would think. Referee Jones has got in the way. So he's going to have to give a drop ball. to Norwich. Although it looked like they're giving the ball away there, so they're going to get it back on the basis that they touched it last. Gareth Ainsworth is just pointing that out. He holds his head at the stupidity of that law. What are you going to do, hey? Gibson to Hanley. Hanley to Skip. And Krill, who is coming up and playing sweeper, does not want to get caught up the pitch there, but I don't blame him, just helping out. Wickham's low block is all the way back inside their own half. Long one curled in, looking for Aaron's on the back post. And 17 gone, and Wickham will be, I suppose, fairly pleased with this. They're giving up loads of possession, loads of territory, but haven't given any chances away yet. I see Fred has been working on his decision-making, bless him. Yeah, he's going to have a hard old afternoon, Fred, because he's going to have to cover back with Max Aaron's, isn't he? Which isn't the one, is it? Jay, afternoon all. Hope we can get a result. Typical, the one I weren't fully paying attention to, football and Blues win yesterday. And did you see my tweet, Jay? The 6-point swing in the space of 37 minutes yesterday afternoon between Birmingham and Sheffield Wednesday. Launched forward by Wickham. Wheeler heads it on, headed away by Hanley. Wheeler again wins it, and he's been penalised for a foul on Skip. I think we do have an update. Good defensive start for Palace. I think Fulham has had most of the possession, still 0-0. Thank you. Hanley steps up to halfway for Norwich, who are going to have to be very patient today. That's the watchword. McLean, deep. Nice football by Norwich. Nice little triangle between sort of Giannoulis, and then it was played around the corner to Hernandez. He couldn't quite get on the end of that, but that was the first time they managed to sort of speed the passing up and get it moving a little bit quicker. Grimmer does well, though, with the tracking. Concentration, the key for Wickham. Patience, the key for Norwich, I suspect. 19 minutes and 10 seconds gone. Stockdale goes long with that one. Pookie knocks it down as it came back the other way. Ikpezu's trying to hold it up the other end. Mehmeti tries to drive on, and he's tackled. Throw into Wickham on the left-hand side. Will they or won't they try and hurl this one into the penalty box? I think it's going in the box, is it? Obita is giving some instructions to his teammates. It is going to go in long. Obita looking for Ikpezu. Big header by Hanley. Good climb by the centre half. And it's cleared away. Pookie chases down the keeper, Stockdale. He gets it clear. Game just stretched out for a second there, which Norwich will want. Vrancic tried to play that one around the corner, and they were 2v2 there, Norwich, but Vrancic couldn't complete the pass. Pookie and Hernandez were in decent positions there. Here's Giannoulis to Hernandez, who turns his man down the line looking for Pookie, who's not even going to bother getting into the shepherd it out game with Big Stuart, the centre half there. Blues have a great chance on Tuesday. Beat Huddersfield away, go above them. There we go, and pull them down into the quicksand. Expected Palace sitting off Fulham, pressing out of possession. Reed and Anguissa have been good. Watch Anguissa's ball carrying abilities, Annie. He's a great player, isn't he? A lot of passing, not enough shooting. There we go. Similar story in this game as well that I'm watching here, Wickham and Norwich. Leicester are leading Arsenal 1-0. Arsenal were sort of given a penalty, but then it was rescinded for an earlier foul, or rather the foul had taken place outside of the box. Daniel Farker chipping away. The Norwich bench, known to be one of the noisier ones in the division, let's just say. In comes the throw-in again from a beater for Wickham. Buendia gets up and heads that one clear. Wickham doing a good job here, making life difficult for league leaders Norwich. Gape, nice little back heel by Onyedinma. Gape threw himself into that tackle there. Wheeler wins it back. Referee Jones has blown up for a previous foul when Wheeler played for Exeter. He hit a wayward shot and broke his girlfriend's arm. What? She was in the ground? That's ridiculous. Referee Jones is having a good old chat with Norwich captain Hanley. Gibson plays that to Hanley. It's all a bit Hector Reeve, isn't it, at the back? For those of you who watched the watch-alongs for a long time, the Norwich centre halves having a lot of the ball with no pressure on them. Tries to get McClary away down the right-hand side there. It's gone out for a Norwich throw. And here they come. Ridley says Arsenal will finish in the bottom half. Heading that way, isn't it? Leeds in 10th with our dearly departed hat on. We'd quite like them to finish there or even higher. Hanley, Skips comes short. Skip plays it to Gibson. Janulis, the left back, comes forward, comes inside. Give and go, nearly gets in on the edge of the box. Wickham clear. Here's Ikpeazu. Vrancic wins that back. Vrancic to Buendia, who we've barely mentioned. Pookie to Aarons. Aarons to Skip. To Aarons again. And Hanley. Buendia coming very short and greeted with two Wickham players there as soon as he got the ball. I've not noticed that he's been man-marked, but certainly very, very quick to close down there, Wickham. Grimmer on the right-hand side. Give and go with Mehmeti. He plays the ball to Obita, who's on the left-hand side. He's going to put this in the box. In it goes from Obita, takes a deflection. And I think Krull keeps that in. Krull appeals. The Norwich substitute appeals. The Norwich bench will jump up again, but they're given a corner. Let's have a look. Did they get that one right? Impossible to tell from there. This is a better angle. Let's have a look. Oh, God, that's very hard to tell. If that ball is over the line, it's over the line by a millimetre. Very hard to tell. Anyway, corner comes in. It's a poor one. Probably a good thing. All hell would have broken loose if Wickham would have scored from that. Buendia comes charging out to try and grab that ball off McClary, and he's won a free kick. Ooh. The way McClary's foot went up then just catches Buendia, doesn't he? You always start to worry when the foot's up. No intent to foul him, but that doesn't matter, does it? No card, just a free kick in there. Aaron's tries to switch that. Norwich v Brentford on Wednesday. Looking forward to that one. Slid down the line to Vrancic. First against second, that will be. McLean has it as the Wickham tackles fly in. Here's Aaron's. Stands up Wheeler. Buendia. Brilliant pass by Buendia. Aaron's can't quite get on the other end. First little bit of space Buendia got in the game, really. And he nearly carves them open. Beautiful pass there. Outside of the right foot. Imaginative, well executed. Great player. Wickham go direct, and it's straight through to a Kroll. Here is Skip. Skip to Giannoulis. Giannoulis back to Skip. And it's inside his own half again to Hanley. 27:42 on the clock here. Buendia short. Clips that over the top looking for the runner. I think it was McLean that time. And it's out for a Norwich throw. Here's Skip. Skip to Pookie. Pookie spins. Pookie to Buendia. Buendia along the ground. Wickham try and clear it. Hits Pookie in the nether regions, I think. He claims it came off a Wickham player there. What happened here? So Buendia has it. He's trying to pick out Vrancic for a tap-in, really. That angle's not going to tell us anything. This one might tell us a bit more. Pass. I'll plead the fifth on that. I don't know whether that was a corner or a goal kick. Needed a slow-mo on that one. Didn't get one. Wickham pressing very, very high up. Is this going to break Fertig Paisley in the box? Yes, he's got it. But has he got anyone to cross it to? He does not. And he wins a corner. Time check, Alistair. I will give you one at 29:30, sir. Which is going to be in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, sink. That is 29:30. You have to say Norwich are a very well-run club. That's why they'll go straight back up. Certainly made the best of this season, haven't they? Trying to clear this corner here. Mehmeti, edge of the box. It is cleared now. Gape to Obita. Nice ball into Onyedinma. Good feet by him. Onyedinma out wide. McClary's still there, the corner taker. And are we going to get a long throw? No. Short to Mehmeti. Norwich push out. Onyedinma now. A little feint by him. Here's Grimmer. Clipped in to the back post. Nothing doing there. Norwich clear and press up the pitch, and Pookie leads that press. And Stockdale returns the ball down the ground. And now Norwich are going to have an attack. Hernandez against Grimmer. Grimmer does well, actually. And McClary, poor ball by him. Really silly ball, actually, because Grimmer had done well. So I played it around the corner first time, right into a Norwich player there. Handed the initiative straight back. Skip plays it out to Aaron's on the right-hand side. Aaron's drifts inside. Vrancic comes short, hits a low shot. Now Aaron's... Aaron's goes down. I'll say no more. No free kick. And it's going to be a Norwich throw-in just inside the Wickham half. Leicester 1, Arsenal 0, Tielemans. Palace 0, Fulham 0. I've got 30 minutes and 43 on that one. Wickham 0, Norwich 0. So 1 goal in our 3 games. And Buendia is short again. Switches the play beautifully with his left foot there. I laugh because he's quite a humorous player to watch. A little bit too good for this level. Here's Hanley. Although the players stopped, an offside has been given. Is that David Stockdale in goal? He is. And if he was on loan at Stevenage, he's back now. I'll plead the fifth on that. Beta is quality. He's one of our own. Yours. Nice. Ex-Reading player, of course. Jordan Obita. Playing left back here. Arrived from Oxford in the window. Oh, flicked on. And, best chance of the game for Mehmeti there. And out of absolutely nothing, the ball is just booted down the ground by Stockdale. Ikpeazu wins the flick on. And it's a really decent chance, actually, for Mehmeti on the left foot on the half volley. Bit of pressure on him. But best chance of the game there for Wickham on 32. Wonder if that will pep Norwich up a little bit there. Mehmeti just half volleyed that one wide. Mark, thank you so much. We'll drink to that, my friend. $10 super chat there. Brilliant coverage and knowledge and keeping me going in Melbourne tonight. Enjoy the considered mood you establish. Could be towards some spring flowers after your next extra long super stream. That's tremendous, Mark. Thank you so much. Anir is on Palace and Fulham for us. Space in the middle. Fulham need to exploit it. As we see a Norwich shot ballooned over the bar there by Emi Buendia. Just after I've given him the big up for the past 2 years, basically. Chance for Wickham. Great chance. It was indeed, wasn't it? Bit of pressure on him, but should work the keeper there, shouldn't he? I suspect Mr. Pookie would have, wouldn't he? Chris. Stockdale recalled for Millwall due to Allsop's injury. Always stick that release clause in, especially if it's a keeper. I think one of our Birmingham friends will be able to tell us. Stockdale was on like an eye-wateringly high wage, wasn't he? I mean, good luck to him, Birmingham. And they just could never get him off the books. Ikpeazu. Nice, good fun between him and Hanley there. Good battle, that one. Mehmeti, good feet by him. Beat Skip into the box and he went down. Nothing given there. Interesting. Mehmeti again and he goes down. And referee Jones says nothing again. And Skip goes down. I'd love to have another look at that. It's great feet by Mehmeti on the edge of the box. In he goes with Skip. I don't think there's anything in that, to be honest. I think Mehmeti goes down a little bit easily. Ikpeazu was in the way. No, there's nothing in that. Good call by referee Jones. Gareth Ainsworth is asking the question. Yeah, I heard that amount, Jay. Insanity. Again, good luck to him, but there you go. Up it goes. Hadway, Monk hated his attitude. Don't get me wrong. We'd all sign that deal, wouldn't we? But especially when it's a keeper as well. When you think what that could buy you in terms of goals, in terms of championship salary, I mean, crikey. Here's Gibson. Hanley again. And Hanley nearly gets robbed by Ikpeazu then. but comes away with it nonetheless. Here's McLean. Good position this. In the left-hand side. Oh, good turn by Hernandez. Hernandez crosses it. Good play by the winger. Headed away by Stewart. And Wickham are going to come away with it with Mehmeti again. That's a good tackle by Giannoulis. And Skip does well to go in there and grab that. Right, here's Buendia. He plays it out to the wing to Aarons. Aarons to Pookie. Back again. And Aarons has to play back into Hanley, who's probably going to be closing in on 100 touches, I reckon, during this game. Headed away by Knight. Pookie tried to control it. Up in the air it goes. Bit messy. Headed away again by Gape. Buendia, lovely ball into Hernandez. Hernandez into the box. Makes space. Decent cross. And struck low. Not far wide by McLean. Really good quality. Again, it all stems from Buendia, doesn't it? Every time. Touch and just a beautiful, first time half volley ball into Hernandez. Hernandez does well, actually, to find McLean, who just drags his shot wide. Stockdale was throwing his body across, but you can see how many key passes that Buendia gets through for Norwich. Just a brilliant player. And we have an equaliser for Arsenal, unless VAR is going to get in the way of this one as well. It's Leicester 1, Arsenal 1. And we'll take a look at that on the iPad up there. We got 2 goals in our 3 games, and they're both in one game here. I'm guessing it's going to come from this free kick. It's a free kick to Arsenal down the right-hand side. Willian and Pepe are over it. Keep an eye on Wickham Norwich at the same time. It's a Wickham long throw. Exactly the same time as we're going to see this Arsenal goal coming in. Anyway, here comes the Wickham long throw, headed away by Hanley. Good header, lovely touch by Pookie off to Buendia, who can't get it out. I think David Luiz has scored. Obviously, I looked away at the wrong time, as always happens. Onyedinma Dimmer does well, plays it to a beater to Ikpezu. Everyone appealed for offside. Didn't get given, and Krill throws it out. I'll take another look, and we'll hopefully see that Arsenal goal. We think David Luiz has scored. Here it comes. Free kick in from Willian, right-footed. Oh, what a header that is. Such a strange player, David Luiz. Goes from looking absolutely class to absolutely terrible in the space of a minute. That was absolutely class, wasn't it? Bullet header into the corner from Luiz. Great goal. 1-1. Here's Gibson for Norwich. Still 0-0 in this one. 39:47 on the clock. Skip. Gibson. Nice little clip in by Gibson. Buendia heads goalwards, hits the crossbar. And Pookie should do way, way better with the follow-up. Brilliant stuff by Buendia. Again, not noted as a player who's going to come and attack across with a header. But excellent header as well. Sort of on the penalty spot, Gibson clipped it in. It's a beautiful header, and it hits the bar. Really unlucky there. Norwich Pookie should do way better with the follow-up as well. He slashes that one over the bar. And again, we've gone through all of the stats with Buendia and Norwich, haven't we? But he is so good, isn't he? Couldn't beat the keeper there, though, but excellent effort and unlucky there. Hits the crossbar. Here's Pookie. Pookie knocks that one into McLean. Skip, lovely switch of play there. Norwich look quite good now, don't they? Aarons down the right. Nice ball in with the left foot. Vrancic, ooh. Tried to play it into Aaron's path, and he just hit it too late and Aaron's ran past it. Here's Buendia, edge of the box, accelerates forward. Buendia still got it, hits the shot low, left-footed, straight at the keeper. Owen, Albion fan, passing by to say Yokoslu is the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League. You're very welcome, Owen. There you go. San Jose's on 25k a week. Unbelievable. Yes, God. What was that goal? Well, was it? It was against Norwich, wasn't it? Where he's running back. Unbelievable. Wickham are playing quite well. Norwich have cheat codes at this level. Yeah, right. Where did I get my iPad stand from? DM me about that, George. The missus got it for me, but she'll be able to tell you. Cods Vlogs. The legend. He's missing Joey Barton, though, isn't he? Hey? 42-17 gone. It's going to be a long throw for Wickham. He'll probably be pretty happy with this, won't they? Tossed in by Obita. And again, Hanley wins the header. He's won a few of those. Here's Buendia, who plays it early into the channel. It's just so much better than everybody else. It's not true. Half volleyed, flying half volley there by Buendia to play Pookie in. Hernandez, Giannoulis crosses it in. Pookie can't knock it off. This is just a situation where most players on the pitch would have just booted it down the ground. And Buendia's now got Norwich on the front foot. Vrancic hits the shot and it's blocked. But I hope the Sky show a replay of that. Flying half volley by Buendia and just completely turns the game in Norwich's favour there. Well, they're actually going to show us Dave Stockdale's save from Vrancic again, which I've forgotten about, actually. And there is Mark Bright in the Palace Stadium. What a great player he was. One for you, Sheffield Wednesday and Palace and Charlton fans there, Mark Bright. Fleetwood, 2 wins in 18, 1 win in 15. Grayson, 1 win, 3 draws. It's worrying, isn't it? But I will say, Ben, Ipswich getting taken over soon, we think. Take Buendia out of Norwich and they struggle to create. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure other people would step up in the end, wouldn't they? But certainly when he's there and you miss him, yeah, great player. I've seen buses do U-turns quicker than San Jose. Good. He's good when he's facing forward and on the ball, though, isn't he? Vrancic tries to play around the corner there and hoofed down the ground. VAR is looking at something in the Leicester-Arsenal game. Again, Norwich trying to get it into Pookie. Just getting a bit stretched there. Here's Wheeler. Wheeler plays it to Onyedinma. We got another penalty for Arsenal. Or an actual penalty this time. Lovely feat by Obita. Surely he's been fouled there, hasn't he? Yeah. Referee Jones has seen Wickham play before. He knows they'd rather have the free kick than the advantage there. Buendia with the foul. Penalty for Arsenal, says Eugene. Arsenal look like they're going to come from behind in the first half of this one. Half time at Fulham, that's 0-0. And Arsenal have scored the penalty. It's not yet occurred on my screen. It's going to be a handball call. Yeah, to be fair, I don't know who it is. Ndidi. He's got both arms out like that, and you're looking for unnatural position, aren't you? 2-1 Arsenal. Free kick goes in for Wickham. McClary's going to keep it alive. It's gone all the way out to the right-hand side. McClary against Vrancic, which he'll fancy. He crosses it in left-footed. We're into stoppage time, by the way. 2 minutes stoppage time. 1 minute of it left to play. knocked in to Stewart, who stayed up from the set play. Here comes Mehmeti. Buendia slipped over. Mehmeti goes past him. He hits the shot right-footed, and it's wide of the post. Here comes Lacazette to take the Arsenal penalty. Nice little shimmy body shape, and it is 2-1 to Arsenal in that game. Leicester 1, Arsenal 2. Mehmeti, who had a good chance in... no, it didn't. It was Wheeler, wasn't it? Or was it Mehmeti? I can't remember. Whoever had that big chance for... No, it was Mehmeti, wasn't it? I can't remember. For Wickham. We're very, very close to the end of minimum stoppage time. In fact, it's over. So we expect the whistle to go any time now as Ikpeazu charges up the pitch. McCleary across, and Mehmeti can't control it. And that is a half time. Interesting watch that. Norwich 0, Wickham 0. Wickham sitting in, but in terms of actual big chances, Vrancic had a free kick well saved. Buendia hit the crossbar. Pookie from the follow-up from that should have done better. McLean, reasonable chance, but there was a good chance. I think it was Mehmeti, wasn't it, for Wickham, the long ball and the flick on. So I'm sure all the numbers, the underlying stats will be heavily in Norwich's favour. But if you're Gareth Ainsworth, you won't be unhappy with this. You have to remember it's essentially 8th in League One last season, and then the points per game against a team that was in the Premier League last season. So context is everything. So Wickham may not be too disappointed with that. Let's have a look at the numbers. And as you can imagine, they skew heavily in Norwich's favour. 71 on the possession to 29. 11 shots to 2. Only 2 on target, though. However, look there. 1 big chance to 0 in Wickham's favour. So there's something there. There's always something there. But they've got to keep up the concentration. And I reiterate, Norwich's bench at Championship level is utterly stacked. Utterly stacked. There's the table. And I mean, there's not really a bad scenario for Norwich here. Even if they lose, it's not even that bad, is it? But at the moment, they have the point. A win would obviously put them on to 70. Wickham, well, if they do get a point, that would be 8 points in 5 games, which is very decent. They've got 7 in 4. Wouldn't have been outlining this one as a possible points avenue, I'm sure. But looking pretty good in terms of trending upwards. They've obviously just left it a little bit late, and they're 10 points off safety. Let's have a look at your comments. Anything you want to talk about in the comments, and I will get to those. What are we saying here? Chris, Grayson is an awful manager, very poor at Blackpool last season. I think he brought in a load of players at Blackpool as well, but Fleetwood won't go down. Sheffield Wednesday down now, says CC 1867. Can't see any way back. It's a championship, that's all I'll say. Plenty of 3-game weeks, or 3 games in 8 days, as pedantic people like to remind me, is longer than a week. You never know, but you just wonder, was that little run, was that the peak? That's the worry, isn't it? Jay, Palace, Fulham, boring game, not much happened. Fulham, really, a win would do good things for them, given Newcastle drew last night. Great win yesterday for Reading. Showed our quality. Should have been 2, 3 or 4, but couldn't finish our dinner. Never mind. Wickham had a tough game with Reading midweek with 10 men. I think will tire. And I mean, look at the Norwich benches as well in terms of the quality that they can bring in to go against that. On our way to League One. We're on our way. Nice. Russ, first world problems for Russ here. Absolutely awful from us. Far too tippy-tappy. An Albion poor. I'm pretty sure my nan runs faster than Mario. I think maybe overstating it slightly. I just think Norwich haven't scored yet. That's all. Whenever Buendia gets on the ball, they look incredibly dangerous in those positions. The free kick was close, wasn't it? Buendia hit the crossbar. Pookie should have probably scored the follow-up. McLean as well. Patience, my friend, is the watchword if you're a Norwich fan. On this one, Championship. Yeah, I think I'm going to move it to Mondays. I think the Tyler, the sort of reaction from people has been better on Mondays. So I've prepared it already. Actually, I was up with the birds today preparing it. So a game for Dowell and Hugel, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Loads of quality on that Norwich bench, though. A draw or a win for Wickham would complete a lovely weekend for Brentford, but you suspect Norwich will carve out a win in the end. Yeah. You're relying on a couple of things to happen for Wickham to get something, aren't you? Their concentration to keep up the entirety of the game. And I'm not even going to say Norwich to not, because Norwich will create a big chance. You're relying on Norwich missing the big chance that they create. You know it's going to happen at some point with 71% possession and Buendia on the pitch. There you go, Jay. He's enjoying the table a little bit more now. Need a Wickham win to make me feel better about Tuesday. There you go. Context is king, Alistair, isn't it? Sometimes a result that looks really bad gets less bad when the context arrives a few games later. No more American. No, they go in the fake news sin bin. Do you think Leeds could stay up if they pick 0 points up for the rest of the season? How many points have they got? Grimp soft. And I'll give you an answer. Norwich lacked the clinical touch in front of goal, but I still feel confidence for 3 points. Yeah, it looks like it will come, doesn't it? If that pressure builds and builds and builds, and you know, it's they've put themselves in a position, Norwich, where they don't have to risk life and limb to beat Wickham. Just having a look at that penalty appeal there. I mean, there's a hand on the shoulder. Manages to take it away pretty quickly, though. QPR forever. Be happy with mid-table and build up and build again. Got some real talented youngsters to come through. Bright future ahead. Just got to keep that upward trend. QPR, haven't they? Jay, well, they said Roy and 12 players. Is Roy Hodgson out of contract, is he? Or maybe he'll come and manage Ipswich. Sensational. Our new American owners can get Roy Hodgson in. His last hurrah. Taking Ipswich from League One to the Championship. Unbelievable. Next season, the Championship, yet again. Loan Norwich to the Premier League for 12 months. John's words, not mine there. Hello to Adam. Tyler, Barnsley have 8 of the bottom 10. Oh, you love to see that, don't you? In the next 14 games. A good run for Barnsley, but never an easy game in the Championship. We've fallen foul of that many times, Tyler, haven't we? Where I sit here and I go, oh, look at this easy run this team's on. They're going to now trend upwards. Look at it, or continue trending upwards. Look at this difficult run this team's got. And it can go the other way, can't it? But looking good. So Leeds have 35 points. I suspect they probably could score 0 points and stay up. Yeah. Well, can I tell you after the Fulham game? Because it kind of depends on whether there's a realistic challenge from Fulham or West Brom, because you could get a situation where if it's not looking likely with 3 games to go, the motivations tail off massively, don't they? SuperStream on Tuesday. I suspect we'll be all over it this week, Alistair. Wickham need to keep the faith. A point would be massive towards belief. They could do it. Rule nothing out. It's almost, Phil, like Norwich is actually quite a good opponent for Wickham because you know that Norwich is going to keep passing and attacking. And there's a very definitive challenge for Wickham to go against it. If you ask Gareth Ainsworth, he'd probably rather play against Norwich than against, I don't know, Birmingham or who else plays kind of stoic, Cardiff or Middlesbrough or something like that. So I think they can play off Norwich quite well, can't they, Wickham? It's just it's a concentration thing and an intensity thing when you're defending for that long in a game. Who will finish bottom? Wickham or Wednesday? I don't want to answer that. Mark Hughes criticising Roy Hodgson. Didn't he have the Fulham job after him or before him? I can't remember. Mark Hughes was a great player anyway, so respect is due. Do I think Reading can finish top 6? Yes, they can. But the worry we've had with Reading now for a while is, and I'm stealing Chris's thunder, Chris in the chat, that the form outside of the 7-8 game crazy streak is not playoff form. So they just need to have a little trend upwards in terms of the points per game before the end of the season. Wickham is a great story, but isn't proof that finish well. Yeah, possibly. Hopefully, we never have to have another example of it. A friend told me Leeds were poor. Do you think this is a fair assessment? I think compared to how they often function, I think they probably weren't up to scratch yesterday, were they? Yes, Adam, think this will get going now. That's a fair point, Alistair, isn't it? There is an argument for a trend upwards in terms of returning players. So, yeah, fine. Do a League One daily departure. I get asked to do that so many times. I will consider my options in the summer. I don't think Ainsworth would want to play that. No, I didn't say that, Chris, did I? I said, if you can wind it back, I said Norwich is almost a good opponent for Wickham because they'll know exactly how to set up against it. I did not say they would want to play Norwich every week. Those are two entirely different things. And no, of course he wouldn't want to play them every week. Consistency is the problem home from. Chris was looking at Barnsley's remaining fixtures. Only play 3 games versus teams above them. Oh, this is great. We'd love to see Barnsley in the playoffs. All these horrible seasons with parachute teams in the top 6 all the while. Let's have a non-parachute team have a good go at it, for goodness sakes. Bournemouth, Reading and Norwich on the last day. Yeah, Norwich won't have anything to play for on the last day. Yeah, you love to see it, don't you? A bit of fun recruitment, brave style of play. Hopefully others follow suit. Liam, I can listen to Nigel Pearson all day long. So good to have experienced manager for once, rather than having good humans like Holden and Johnson. Streaky Lee and short-term Dean. Bless him. Ben, I no longer believe Swansea will get autos after that abysmal performance. I mean, it wasn't what Swansea needed, was it? We need just a bit more evidence before I'll go in on that. I've been so impressed with Steve Cooper this season, so I'll keep my powder dry on that one. But what we have said about Swansea, Iain, for a while is that it is fine margins with Swansea. If you do look at the XG numbers, which I know aren't, they do give you long-term patterns though. I know they're not the be-all end-all. They do tell us that Swansea are performing well and above expectations in terms of scoring and conceding. Where is my Wickham shirt from yesterday, Liam? Why do you not think I'm wearing a shirt that that could possibly construed as been having remotely similar colours to Wickham? Hey, I've been there before. We just wear a black one with flowers on today. It's in the wash, obviously. What are my feelings on Joe Jordan being in the Bournemouth coaching staff? I like Joe Jordan. I think he's funny. Sheffield United v Liverpool. When is that? Later. Battle of no centre backs. Football. The forward should have fun. Right. Let's have a look at this. Or what are they showing? Oh, I don't think we kicked off again. They're showing us the Wickham press. Yeah. We can keep doing questions. They're still showing. Been a long old half time, hasn't it? It's done more than 15 minutes. Pass. Swansea have been punching above their weight all season. If we've been, yeah, by how much we don't know. But I mean, it's been a great job by Cooper, hasn't it? 7:15. I'll be in bed by then, Russ. I'm knackered already, me. Best place to find XG numbers. There's a few good places, Chris. Try Footy Stats. Info Goal presents it all absolutely beautifully as well. But just remember, if you ever mention XG, look out for a line of XG flat earthers who are just going to want to yell at you that they don't want guitar lessons if you've seen the Ricky Gervais sketch. So good luck with that. Philip. Selfishly, if Bees don't stay in top two, I prefer Reading or Bournemouth than Barnsley or Cardiff. Yeah, that's probably a better matchup, isn't it? Bees definitely won't play Barnsley after that home game the other day, will they? Let's just read out one more Swansea comment there. Next few games are Stoke away, Borough and Blackburn. Interesting. Right. Interesting should be this second half. Nicely poised. Wickham hanging on in there, manfully defending, forcing one decent chance and stopping Norwich and Buendia where they can. And it is 0-0. Norwich have that stacked subs bench. And they had 71% possession in the first half. So, can they get the goal, is the question. Hanley to Skip. Skip to Hanley. Out to Gibson. Vrancic comes really short. And plays it to Skip. And the pattern is resumed. Norwich's centre-halves getting plenty of the ball. Skyer deciding to leave a Wickham average positions thing covering half the screen there for way, way long. Giannoulis to Buendia to Vrancic. Looks like Vrancic is just... I know the Norwich midfield rotates a lot, but looks like he's come noticeably shorter here. It appears that Farker has just tweaked this a little bit in terms of some instructions. Looks like Skip's almost in that Calvin Phillips position now. Dropped right in between the centre-backs. And Vrancic has come even shorter, sort of into a number 8 position rather than number 10. Maybe the idea is that... with the low block, bring a couple of players back, so they're not stood there in traffic, bring them back into some space. Nice takedown by Ikpeazu there. He's managed to get it off to Grimmer, who plays it down the line to McCleary, who's offside. He miscontrolled it. Anyway, let's go to your comments. XG, yeah, experimental 3 is really good for League One, actually, Locke. Yes, that is a good point. Imagine Barnsley in the Premier League. I don't have to imagine Barnsley in the Premier League. I remember them. When were they in there? 97, 98? I remember it well. Alistair, dearie me, what a silly comment. XG is BS. Reading have outperformed it all season in getting results. Alistair, you're totally missing the point. XG doesn't tell you what the results are supposed to be. It just tells you how good a team's shooting are. If they've outperformed it, it just means Reading are good, not XG is bad. Such a silly comment, Alistair. I thought you knew better than that, my friend. Aaron's crosses that one in, headed away. Janulis, Vrancic, Buendia, Vrancic, Pookie, edge of the box. Out wide, it goes to Aaron's. Aaron's beats a beater. Crossed into the back post, headed goalwards and wide. Chance there, Hernandez with the header. Oh, he's free, isn't he? Aaron spins back and crosses it. I think the problem Hernandez has got there is he's not running onto the ball. No problem, Alistair. Just trying to... a lot of people make that argument purely out of misunderstanding it. I think they expect XG to be a single factor analysis of everything to do with football. Nothing is a single factor analysis of football. Even the full-time score doesn't tell you tells you very little about the game, does it? So it's just another bit of information, isn't it? You speak to scientists, they will tell you they learn a lot more from an experiment that comes up with stuff that they didn't expect rather than stuff that they did expect. So, for example, I find it far more interesting when we are studying teams like Reading. Why do they outperform their XG? Is it because Lucas Zhou's a very good striker and scores a disproportionately high amount of chances? Here's Buendia down the right, crosses in low. Pookie hits the shot and Norwich have taken the lead. Big deflection. Buendia to Pookie. Yet again, that partnership, and Norwich take the lead. There's a big deflection on it as it goes in, but Pookie hits the shot nice and early. And Buendia, the man, yet again. 10th assist of the season for Buendia. Just slipped in there. He's onside. He does really well. He's strong, beats Wheeler, crosses low. It's a good early shot by Pookie, and I suppose they earn their luck there because Buendia does well. Pookie angles the shot. To be honest, if Josh Knight stands still, it just hits him. But he tries to readjust. It goes between his legs and deflects in past the keeper. Also, if he lets it go through his legs without touching it, it's straight at Stockdale, the keeper. Norwich lead, bit of quality from Buendia makes the difference. And here they come again. And that's got to be a yellow card for Wheeler. Takes down Buendia, who is, I hate the word because it's nonsense, but I won't say unplayable, but frankly, very difficult to play against, isn't he? And Norwich get the breakthrough just after half time. Wheeler there, clear foul on Buendia, and hopefully an accidental collision there with him straight after the foul. If not, that was naughty. Norwich lead 1-0 in this one. Much better in 10 second. No different than the first half, Russ. Ye of little faith. Here's Vrancic. Vrancic plays that to Buendia. Arsenal have gone 3-1 up. We'll see that goal in a second. So a couple of goals, quick, smart there as we start the second half. Ball flicked on. Hernandez is in, and he cannot angle that goal. He might have been offside. Norwich getting through there at will now. Lovely ball around the corner from Vrancic. Brilliant pass that. Hernandez, full sprint. Yeah, he can't quite control that. He was onside, actually. That's a good chance. Let me just check out this Arsenal goal. Pepe has scored on 51 for Arsenal. He lead 3-1 at Leicester. That's not good news for our Leeds friends, is it? Arsenal winning. And Nell has been so poor. That is probably true. Yeah, I'll give you that one, Russ. Anyone that supports Arsenal should be in the fake news sin bin. That would be a big fake news sin bin. Here is Aaron's. Buendia crosses left-footed, headed out. Performance is the same. Have patience. That's what we said, didn't we? We said the key word for Norwich was patience, and the key word for Wickham was concentration. And when Wheeler goes in 50-50 with Buendia, he lost his concentration, and Buendia is too good for him. He turns him, and at that point, he's done, isn't he? John, XG is one of many good stats, but the thing that winds me up is many see XG and final score being linked. Yeah, I mean, just because you have a lower XG doesn't mean you deserve to win games. Generally, the pattern here, because what you would admit, John, is people who do that are misunderstanding the stat. So generally, the pattern here is people misunderstand this stat. What a pass by, was that McLean? Out it goes to Hernandez. Hernandez comes inside. Buendia, oh my God, how has he missed that? Well, I'm fairly confident he's the best player in the league. I can't believe he's missed that. It's a great ball by, it was McLean, wasn't it? Hernandez does well, stands up his man. And that, my friends, is a sitter. Missed by Emi Buendia. Terrible finish, actually. He's got to score that, hasn't he? On the right foot, about 8 yards out. Pick your spot. A little bit of pressure on him, I think, by Grimmer, but really should score. And Norwich are well on top in this one, looking really good. Now managing to stretch Wickham out. Sadly, no patience after this. That's tremendous. Leaning back, rule one of shooting. Yeah, by the player with one of the best techniques I think you'll see, for goodness sake. This would be a huge win. No pressure on the Brentford game if we win this. Well, I think a draw would be absolutely fine. Gape has just fouled Vrancic, and he's been yellow carded. Wickham just getting a little bit ragged. They just needed to last more. Oh, that's not a good tackle. Another look at that. Oh dear. Yeah. Well, it's definitely a yellow card, and we'll leave it at that. Goodness me. Always pressure on every game. Yeah, I know what you mean, but especially given they didn't lose to Brentford in the earlier game. Nat, thank you, Sarah. I'll drink to that. Guess who's back, everybody? It's Bits, and he's still using his American flag emoji. Bits, do you know after you've pressed it 1,000 times, it runs out. You can't use it again. Fulham dictating play now. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Sliding scale. Agree with that. But again, if the 84-point rule is a rule. Here's Aaron's inside the box. Aaron's hits the shots blocked by Obita. I think he might have got that on the ankle, which is really painful if you get a ball smacked at the ankle like that. Yeah, let's just put that live league table up. Oh, dear. I suppose if any set of supporters deserve to be optimistic for 24 hours, it's Ipswich supporters, isn't it? Yeah, there's the league table. 70 points. And if the 84-point standard, that means Norwich need 14 points from 13 games. So they can basically be absolutely rubbish for the entire rest of the season and still get promoted. Tyler, your legend. Brentford beat Barnsley playoff after last season. Deny them Premier League football 2 seasons in a row. I suppose there's some truth in that, isn't there? There's Emi Buendia's touch map. God, what would they do if he got injured? Deary me. Thank you very much, Tyler. I think Barnsley would fancy Brentford, given how they played against them recently and how that fearsome press worked. But who's going to finish above Brentford, though, for them to finish in the playoffs? Buendia receives it and goes short and into the keeper, who goes long in turn. Clipped down the line and cleared by Gibson. And Janulis is down. Already had a couple of Wycombe players booked. And out comes the yellow card. Tremendous. Another great shirt. Thank you, Curved Glass. Pookie will hit 50 championship goals in fewer games than any other player in the history of the league since 2004. What's he got now? Is that 47? Sensational. I would hark you back to Mr. Oh, this is pre-2004. John Aldridge, top scorer 2 seasons back to back. Incredible. Anir says Palace and Fulham heading for 0-0. 30 minutes left in that one. 30 minutes left in all of them. Gareth Ainsworth plotting. What can they do, though? How strong do you think Wycombe will be in League One? Well, they need Ainsworth to stay, like you've pointed out. And they need to not sell Mehmeti and Ikpeazu, I think. Build a team around them. They should be decent. And I can tell you, League One is not rocket science. It really isn't. Just be competent and you'll be all right in that league. What's happening here? Horgan is coming on. Or he's getting ready to come on. And so is Kashket. So we're going to get a sort of left winger and a running forward, I would call Kashket. Louis Saha was the greatest striker to ever play in the Championship, and that will be written on my gravestone. Fulham for life. Certainly that Jean Tigana Fulham season. Brilliant. Here comes Aaron's down the right. Aaron's crosses. Wycombe are going to get that clear. Gape. Good work by Mehmeti there. Held that ball up well. Wins a free kick. I wonder if Wycombe will take off one of the guys on yellow cards. Of which there are 2. And SofaScore is telling me there are not any. There they are. There's 3, in fact. Wheeler, Gape and McCleary all on yellow cards for Wycombe. (62:40) on the clock. Norwich heading for a 5th straight victory as things stand. And they would be going 10 points clear of 3rd position, with a game against Brentford to come in midweek. Going to be a throw-in for Wycombe on the right-hand side. Going to be a long one tossed into the box. Here it comes from Knight. Headed away. Oh, Ikpeazu, good effort. Adjusts well and overhead volley. So I don't know what to call it. Sort of falling to one side and hooks it. And headed in. He's onside. That's unlucky. Really, really good effort. Oh, that's a great shout, Mankind. And the great thing about Ebanks-Blake as well is that his first season, it was half for Plymouth and half for Wolves, wasn't it? That's a brilliant shout, actually. Great stuff from Ebanks-Blake. And, of course, Mick McCarthy, who took him there and got him promoted. Why do players wear bras now? To avoid... I'm not reading that. Well, they're not avoiding anything because it's their GPS, isn't it? What a chance for Madja. Let's have a look at this. Edge of the box. Oof. Just round the post. Bit of pressure on the shooter there. Inquest going on with the Palace defenders. Obita is down. He hasn't looked right since Max Aarons blasted the ball at him. Chris, you legend. Thank you, sir. Sorry, it's not dollars. No problem. Let's open that one. Chris, top content, fella. Sorry, it's not dollars. Cheers to you, my friend. Going to be a good afternoon for Chris and our Norwich followers. Been a good season. Hello, Owen. I'm very well. How polite of you to ask. Bits. Don't think there were many 50s, were there? Right, here come these subs. Joe Jacobson is now being added in because I think Obita's actually injured. So Jacobson's going to come on at left back, which I'm sure Max Aarons will be pretty pleased to see because Jacobson is no spring chicken, but he'll be quite fresh, won't he? But Aarons is so quick. Horgan's got his bib back on, so I think Kashket is definitely going to come on. Fulham up in the post. Fulham on top now. As I look over, MJ, what do you think of loud goal celebration played over? Excuse me. Just in empty stadiums or normally? It depends what the music is, doesn't it? Sometimes when it's really loud and it takes all your attention away from the goal and onto the music. But yeah, I think it depends what the music does seem really rank in empty stadiums, doesn't it? But there you go. And Ian Rush is the greatest striker. Did Ian Rush play in the Championship? Who for? Did he? I don't recall. Wycombe knew when they came up it'd be nearly impossible to stay up. Take the ride and the money. Yeah. They got the worst season possible for taking the money, didn't they? Fulham will score soon. How have they not scored? Dan Bentley yesterday. Outrageous performance. It's outrageous. Is that true? Ian Rush played in the Championship for Sheffield United. That's absolutely sensational. In which case, Ian Rush is the greatest striker to play in the Championship. That's really, I didn't know that. I had no recollection of him playing for Sheffield United. To be fair, Peter Beardsley was playing for Man City as well on loan then. Rush and Beardsley in the Championship, past their prime. Bits, how long is this going to last? Robbie Keane up there in terms of Championship strikers. Yeah, tremendous. Van Hooijdonk as well was like properly world class when he was still playing in the Championship. Cut back by Buendia, looking for Hernandez, cleared by Jacobson. Kevin Phillips as well. But then again, it's not a bad shout that Louis Saha, for what he did afterwards in his career, not many Championship strikers end up signing for Manchester United and winning titles, do they? So did Defoe play in the Championship with Bournemouth, or was that in League One? I remember he went on loan and scored a ton of goals, didn't he? I think it was League One. Might have even got 10 in 10. What is going on outside? Sounds like there's about 50 motorbikes going by. Knight clears that one away. John Stone's got to be one of the most accomplished ex-Championship players. Well, CV-wise and transfer fee-wise, I think, yeah. My mate once tried to get into Notts County with a 50 to go into the office. Same fellow was also chucked out of Corinthians in the 80s for waving a 20. Oh, dear. Pookie tries to play that one around the corner for Buendia. And it's cleared by Stockdale. Ikpeazu chases away with Gibson. Who's fouling who there? Ikpeazu's fouling Gibson, says referee Jones. How is my neighbour with the leaf blower? Don't talk to me about the neighbour with the leaf blower. Ian Rush played 4 games for Blaze without scoring, then 18 for Wrexham in what is now League One without scoring. Wow. What a player. Better than Rooney? Rush better than Rooney? Oh, dear. Now we're into the weeds, aren't we? 2 incredible players. Rooney probably edges it, but Rush, what a goal scorer. Vrancic, Hernandez, Vrancic. No subs from Norwich yet. No need. Here's Hanley. Nice ball down the line by Gibson for Giannoulis. Hernandez, Vrancic. Vrancic goes back into the centre halves. And Gibson comes forward through the lines to Buendia. Buendia knocks that out to Hernandez. Giannoulis to Vrancic to Hanley. Norwich just keeping the ball. Giannoulis tries to beat Horgan and wins the foul. Ashley Cole, best fullback to play in the Championship. What a career that guy had. When is Mark Ashton joining Ipswich? Let's just get this takeover done first. More to the point, let's just have some new owners. They probably turn out to be worse than the Wigan owners or something. Not that I'm joking about that. Defoe scored 18 in 29 for Paul. I'm pretty sure. Look that up, Mankind. I think he scored 10 in 10 at one point. Buendia swings a free kick in, easy for Stockdale. Ian Rush said when he played for Juventus, it was like playing in a foreign country. Is this a bit like Peter Schmeichel literally being a father figure for Kasper Schmeichel? I think Buendia's can get a yellow card for this one. He's fouled Kashket. And out comes the yellow. Looked a fairly nailed on one. Now he's just going to not get himself sent off now, Buendia. Already had 2 red cards this season. Pretty bang to rights yellow card, that one. Jan Mulby and Tony Cotty played for Norwich in the Championship. Didn't make them good. What, Norwich? No. I think the conversation is more great players that have ended up playing the Championship. What a player Jan Mulby was, though. Just going through the Liverpool 80s team now, aren't we, here? Free kick through, and Krull gathers that. Sorry, I should... I was in the chat enjoying the conversation with you guys. I should have said that there's been 4 subs. 5, actually, for Wickham. Sorry, Jacobson is on. Offerborth, Thompson, Horgan, and Kashket all came on. Sorry. I had my head in the chat. Deary me. Here's Buendia. Exemplary ball out to Aarons, whose cross deflects off Jacobson and out for a throw-in. David James. I remember Michael Chopra dinking over David James when Roy Keane was Ipswich manager, and we won 3-0 on the opening day of the season. Was it Roy Keane or was it Paul Jewell? Chopra. Might have been Paul Jewell. Can't remember. Anyway, I thought, here we go. Nah, no good. Brian Robson said in an interview, if we played like that every week, we would be more consistent. Can't argue with that, though, can you? Foul by Kashket. And then a rather hysterical reaction. Everyone's having a good laugh about it. Hanley sort of just goes like that to Kashket, and he goes down like he's been punched in the stomach. Tremendous S-housery from Kashket. You love to see it. Speaking of S-housery, well, we don't agree with this, but I just saw the name Jefferson Lerner. I didn't realise there'd been racist abuse given to him. I'll give my normal reply on this, that all forms of abuse online need to be targeted. It's awful, and people think that they can get away with it. Part of me thinks, oh, well, football's got this big platform, but hey, it's a start, isn't it? If we stand up for the football players getting abused, maybe, but it goes a lot deeper than that. The fact that people on social media just want to be confrontational all day, every day, and that often ends in abuse, and then racist abuse, sexist abuse, abuse about where people, come from, xenophobic abuse. Huge goal kick through. Casket tries to lob it over Krull, and it's over the top. But yeah, we're seeing it reported now all the time, aren't we? Where clubs are literally announcing, "Oh, this player got abused. This player got abused." I think if it opens up the doors to the social media companies taking responsibility for the fact that vile confrontational abuse happens every second on their platforms, then, and that they really have a duty of care, that their users have a better experience, then literally I know every day of my life being a YouTuber that someone's going to have a pop at me online. Welcome to my life. Uh, 77 or 78 gone now. Get Buendia off. The red card risk is real. I'm correct. At the start of 2001, Defoe scored 12 league goals in 10 consecutive. Love it. Prolific. Good ball by Aarons to Hernandez, who was offside. Yeah, Mulvey was class for Barnsley. Did no running, just sat in the centre and ran the game. To be fair, he did that for Liverpool in his prime, didn't he? Beckham, yes, he went on loan to Preston. Did John Terry go to Forest? Is that right? Lampard to Swansea. They all had a go at it, didn't they? Yeah. Harry Kane. Harry Kane was rubbish in the Championship, wasn't he? He's like one of the best in the world now. David Pleat once said, won't be able to cross from there because he literally only has 1 foot. Sensational. He's literally run his socks off, says Jamie Redknapp. And it's a corner for Wickham. Horgan does well to win that. The bloke who abused Kazim Richards said, I realised it was quite mean, so I deleted it. That's what you're dealing with, Lewis, isn't it? That's what you're dealing with. Oh, there's a human being on the other end of this thing when I get all emotional and tap abusive things in it. Pathetic, isn't it? Absolutely pathetic. Jacobson puts the corner in. Good punch by Krill. It's a good corner, actually. Horgan kind of heads it back in. Shot on the edge of the box by Kashkir. Wickham player went down just before that. Don't want the minority to tarnish our reputation as a family club. No, I don't. Don't think it. I don't think people look at it, and if people do that, then they're idiots as well, Ben. Where they try and, they try and say, "Oh, it's this club that's doing that." It's not even a football problem; it's a society problem. It really, really is. Oh, Stockdale got charged down there by Buendia. But the ball goes out for a goal kick. Adam Ida is going to come on. Ida, who cares? Kashkit has won a foul there against Janulis. And here, I don't understand why people want to do things like that. Well, I'm glad you think like that, Anir. And you're obviously a younger generation than me. So as long as you grow up with those values, hopefully things will get better. This current generation is struggling with coping with social media, though, is the issue, isn't it? Free kick to Wickham. Jacobson is going to take it. It's on the right-hand side. Norwich set up. Poor from Jacobson. Cleared by Aarons. Grimmer. Grimmer blasts it in low. Not the cleverest of things to do. Norwich try and break through. Stockdale miles out. Good sweeping by him. He sticks it forward. Ooh. And Stewart was onside and completely clear there from the big hoof through. They have had their openings, Wickham, haven't they? They really, really do. Do you know what, David? With the Ida thing, I'd looked it up earlier in the season. I went to Norwich in the press box earlier in the season, And to be fair to Norwich, they're really good. They give you a little sheet with all the right pronunciations on. And I remember thinking at the time, right, I must remember which one it is. And I forgot. 82 gone. Have I been surprised with Barnsley's recent upsurge? A little bit, yeah. I thought they were good. I didn't think they were that good, though. I think Paisley crosses it. And it's another corner. Wycombe are putting on decent bit of pressure here. Weird time of year to get a leaf blower out. I blame COVID, MJ. He's just bored, isn't he? Needs to do something. That's bad news, Jez. Sorry to hear that. The old rowing machine. I hate rowing machines, to be fair. Painful. Corner to Wycombe. Jacobson takes it. In it goes. Krull does well again. And Krull was fouled, says referee Jones. Need to prevent anonymous accounts. Absolutely. Couple of things that make a massive difference. Obviously, the anonymous account thing is massive. And if we all had an online license and it was tracked back and anybody could see anything you'd written and trace it back directly to you, and I think people would smarten their acts up. Also, I think some people would benefit from a cooling off thing.
Sorry, what device?
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't find a device named one.
Why is she getting involved? That's no good, is it? No, so you type your tweet in and then it locks you then for 5 minutes. Especially if you're in an angry thread. I'm sure they can find technology to check a thread or something. And it slows you down and calms you down. Rupp and Ida are on for Vrancic and Hernandez. Horgan takes the throw in for Wycombe. 85 on the clock. 3-1 to Arsenal. 0-0 Palace versus Fulham. Will we get a late goal in any of our games? As Wycombe push on again. They've had a good end to the game here. Here's Cashget down the left. Cashget into the box. Horgan curls it. Good save by Krull. Ooh. Wycombe are pushing on. They really are, aren't they? Chris is right here. Wycombe have improved since the subs plus Norwich have taken their foot off the gas. Little bit closer, maybe too little, too late. In other countries, they track them and put them in prison. I shouldn't laugh. We need to do something, though, don't we? Spurs start with Bale, says Robert. Bit of a rarity, that, isn't it? Here's Ida. Crosses that one in. Oh, is there a handball shot there against Stewart? It's going to be a corner for Norwich. No, hits his chest for sure. 86-36 on the clock. In goes the corner, flicked on by McLean, and that is 2-0 and game over. Norwich weathering the storm from Wycombe, and just a simple set play there. You think it would be the other way round, wouldn't you? That Wycombe would have been weathering the storm from Norwich and they've scored a set play, but the other way around in these last 5 minutes, and Norwich home and hosed here. Corner from the right-hand side from Buendia. It's a nice flick on the near post. Good corner, actually. McLean Flicks it. Oh, it's poor from Stockdale, isn't it? Completely spills it. And Ida pokes it in. And when it's mattered the most, Wickham's defending has let them down, hasn't it? And Ida sticks that one in for 2-0. And Norwich are home and host. The 5th straight win for Norwich. Had to be very patient to get it. Off goes Teemu Pukki. And Ida, who I think he scored on the opening day of the season, didn't he? Gets the goal. So it's 2-0 and Norwich are going to be 10 points clear of 3rd place. Let's have a look at the live league table. There it is. 70 up for Norwich. Over the past 10 years, they would only need another 14 points to guarantee automatic promotion using the 10-year average. A fine defence of their championship status here. You can never really be championship holders, can you? Because you get promoted. This is about as close as it gets. 2-0 Norwich. Palace and Fulham are coming into the 90th minute if my BBC iPlayer and my laptop is in any way up to snuff. The man who looks like a FIFA player. Well done, Rush. Congratulations, my friend. You can calm down now and not be nervous, top versus bottom. A fairly comfortable win in the end for Norwich. Big fumble there by the keeper, wasn't it, Jest? That's the shame for Wickham, is that execution, couple of chances, they've snatched that, and the 2 goals, Wheeler dives in on Buendia, deflection, and, when it mattered the most, and then the keeper fumble there. But I guess this is why Norwich are top and Wickham are bottom, isn't it? Good players, better players execute better than lesser players, to not be unfair. Crossed in and flicked just wide by Kashket. Yeah, Kashket's made an impact, to be fair, since he's been on. 5 minutes of stoppage times. Fine details, exactly. The difference for us between good and great is in the detail, for sure. I'm a Fulham supporter. If we stay up, I'll be amazed. Lots of good play, but no bite. Corner into the back post. And Giannoulis lets that go out, and it's going to be a throw-in for Norwich. That's the difference, though. Quality, of course, yeah. And as we say that, here come Plachetta and Sorensen for a couple of minutes in the... Where's Wickham? Buckinghamshire? Leicester's annual end-of-season slump commences against Prague in midweek and is continuing apace. Yes, they're gonna lose this one. They're 3-1 down. 1 minute left of stoppage time in the Palace game. Off goes Emi Buendia. He'll have fun against Brentford, won't he, on a team that'll actually give him some space on Wednesday. Full time, Palace 0, Fulham 0. Nice keys, Ben. What brand is it? Soy Pablo. It's a Korg Kronos, my friend. Stewart plays it home to Stockdale. We've got 5 minutes stoppage time. We played 91.50, so we've got 3 minutes minimum stoppage time, although ref could put a fork in this one. Now this one is done. Norwich are just a little bit too good for this league. Certainly this season, aren't they? No income for everybody else, and that big squad has just dominated, hasn't it, really? Norwich will come straight back down unless they strengthen their defence and buy adequate replacement for Buendia and Aarons. That's the one, isn't it? That's the one you'd worry about if you're a Norwich fan. Yes, great. Buendia's brilliant, and 2 promotions on him and Pookie's back. But if he's sold, yeah, cash in a load of money, but then it's a player who's been imperiously good that has to be replaced. By the way, Emmy got his 3rd yellow of the season today, but has been sent off for 2 yellows twice. I know those count as a red, but did make me laugh here. Solid, if unspectacular performance from Norwich, just what is needed. Rotherham and Wickham are similar, competitive in most games, lack that little bit of quality. Yeah, agreed. David, looking forward to Brentford and Norwich on Wednesday. Me too. I think it's like a 5:30, isn't it, or 5:15 or something like that. So make sure you join us early for that one. I can't wait for actually a really good game of football as well, shouldn't it? (93:42) on the clock of the 5 minutes minimum stoppage time. Scott Parker congratulating his players, but Fulham have drawn again in the Premier League. And if and when they go down, they'll say we drew too many games. They really will, won't they? Anya Dimma plays it out to Offerborth. It's cleared by Aarons. 5:30 kickoff, no time for tea. Here is Rupp. Aarons. Plachetta. Edge of the box, looks dangerous, corner. Will Norwich just accept relegation and just build the finances? I think they've got to have more of a go. It's the last year of Stuart Webber's contract, isn't it? Excuse me. If Norwich sell Buendia, they may as well not bother next season. Have to do everything they can to keep hold of him. Honestly, though, Joe, we're at this point where if you're Buendia, why do you stay now? Do you know what I mean? Why would you stay when you can clearly play? No disrespect, because I think he's an elite player. Why would you stay? Go and play in the top 8 in most European leagues. It's why would you stay, isn't it? And probably double your salary. Full time, Norwich winning 2-0 here at Wickham. They've got Webber, so recruitment should be good. The only question on Webber, though, is he's a brilliant recruiter at Championship level, not proven at Premier League level yet. Might still be brilliant. We will see. I'd say Norwich needs to be better at the ugly side of the game in the Premier League. Play nice football. That won't keep them up. Our cowboy hats are off to Norwich. They do know how to get out of this league. Stop it. Stupid time for a game of football midweek, says Mel. But you'll be here, I hope, Mel. Jeff's looking forward to Bristol City Bournemouth. They're all Nigel Pearson converts now. And it would be almost impossible to keep Buendia. Ipswich is strongly linked with Tom Brady. No, it'd be very interesting, actually. If and when Norwich do go up, how aggressive they will be. I just suspect that Mr. Aarons and Mr. Buendia I suspect they've been told that get us back up, off you go. I think there's a quote from Delia Smith recently as well that said they've factored in their plans that Aarons is not going to be there. So it's just getting the right guys in, isn't it? I'd argue we've gotten even better at those dark arts. Yeah, I would too. And we all love that Norwich bench, don't we, at Carrow Road? or as they're also known, the fourth official. right on top of him always, aren't they? Buendia might have a narrow boat on the Broads. Well, I'm sure with the next contract he's going to earn, he'll be able to buy the Norfolk Broads. Deary me. Norwich are the kings of the Championship. Not even Rumpelstiltskin could stop them today. That's tremendous, Luke. Yes, well, they are. They're going to have multiple promotions out of the Championship. Unless they literally have the collapse of all collapses now. Right. Let's just take one more look at the numbers in that one. Easy win for Norwich in the end, wasn't it? 72% possession, Jesus. 19 shots to 9, 5-1 on target, 4 big chances to 1. Oof! There's one to add to your XG table. For your XG non-believers, it did exactly what it said on the tin in this game, didn't it? There is the table. Norwich, so 7 points clear again with 13 games to go. More importantly, 10 points clear of Watford in third position. They play Brentford in midweek, so I guess if you're a Watford fan or a Swansea fan, you want a Brentford win. No, you don't. You want a Norwich win, don't you? And a chase on for second and concede first place. Although the chances of anybody getting anywhere near Norwich are so slim now, you can pretty much write off anyone below Swansea, can't you, to even get anywhere close? So in terms of Wickham at the bottom of the table, they're 23 from 32. They're 11 off, 14 games to go, looking pretty certain for relegation. But I always say, come to me in 3 games with 7 points and we can talk. But fought manfully in this one. But just conceded at the wrong time, didn't they? Wheeler dived in on Buendia and you're done then, aren't you? Space anywhere around the box, he'll kill you. And he did. Didn't he just? West Brom and Norwich are yo-yo Premier League Championship. Well, yes, they are. We might be having West Brom again next season. Norwich are not stupid when it comes to transfers. Buendia's price could increase if he's in the Premier. Well, it could. I just see it from his perspective of my work here is done. There's 2 promotions on my back that, frankly, if I hadn't been there, neither would have happened. Thank you, and I bid you adieu, and we all move on. Wherever it's said we'll have a go this time, we've built the foundation. Yes, gut check time for Webber now, isn't he? He's got to deliver in terms of Premier League players. Cantwell is committed to Norwich next season. Yeah, that's good news. And Cantwell is one of these weird examples of a player who was better in the Premier League than he was in the Championship. He was excellent, wasn't he? And the Bees fans will be singing Bees Up, Fulham. Yes, that could be happening. Is it me or Norwich winning the league in second gear last time? Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, to be fair to Norwich, they were thrilling in 18-19. They were brilliant to watch. And now they are, to be fair to them, presented with low block defences every week now, and the element of surprise. Everyone knows how good those players are and how good the coach is now. So, but yeah, it does have the air of second or third gear, wouldn't it? I think Norwich need to sign about 5 first-team players. As Gareth Bale scored after 1 minute of the Spurs game. Wow. James Tarkowski looks a bit nonplussed. I might have a look at this. I think that's Sissoko, is it? Or is it Ndombele? I'm not very good at Spurs players. I think it's Ndombele. I know that's Heung-min Son. Crosses that one in. He's onside. Oh, okay. They showed me the cross, but they're not going to show me the finish. Bit of a weird one, that. Kind of drifts through on the near post. Tarkowski leaves it and Bale slips through and puts it home. A dark horse to get into the playoffs. Yeah. I'm not seeing one. and here I don't think. Do you know? I don't think Reading will slip out. Actually, I think they'll still get in there. Barry, would Buendia be good enough for Leeds? Oh yes, oh yes, yeah. He would be perfect for Leeds. It'll cost them. Yeah, Lee Mason's having the day off, and Bale's there. Well, you may laugh, but one season in the Premier League gives you a lot of money, and Leeds have already been prepared to spend big. So as much as that might be a threatening concept to you, Chris, it's not totally beyond the realms of possibility, especially if they finish in the top half. But obviously, it's going to take a mighty transfer fee. It'd certainly be a record for Norwich. Could Norwich get over 100 points? Let's see. So 13 games to go. 2 points per game would take them to 96. No, I don't think they will. Obviously, they can. Could win another 5 on the trot and be looking fab. But no, I don't think they will. I think there'll be a few more draws in there for Norwich. Mike, I said they get 3 points, although there could have been more goals for both sides. Leeds have plenty of money. Yes, they do. But Norwich have been very good at getting very high transfer fees for, okay, Mattheson was obviously worth it, but the Murphy brothers and Jamal Lewis were definitely sold above market value, I suspect, given their careers. If we sold Buendia, I'd much prefer it to be. I'm sure you would, Joe, because that sticks another 10 million quid on the fee, doesn't it? If it's a Champions League club, be interesting with Buendia whether he's ready, whether he does, goes to a club just below the Champions League in whatever, in wherever he goes, or he goes straight into one of the tip-top Champions League clubs. Bart says Fulham unlucky. We might just stay up. We'll have a look at that on the Dearly Departed show. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. That's me for the day. So check out tomorrow. I'll be writing my tribal football column. That will go up probably late tomorrow night, actually. I will be live at 1 p.m. with the Championship review as well tomorrow. There's a few polls and things on Twitter. We're doing Classics review tomorrow night as well. So check out my Twitter and whatnot for all of that good stuff. And Dearly Departed will be tomorrow, and Heroes and Villains. I'll put the shout out for all of that. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Joe, Nick, Paddy, Jeff, Mario, Leeds 2021. Richard, it was in the Sunday SuperStream. It was Leicester 1, Arsenal 3, Palace 0, Fulham 0, and Wickham 0, Norwich 2. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And it's a big over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button, and to be notified every time we upload, ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.